Vanakkam. Today, I am going to take up another very interesting Reserve Bank of India circular with reference to interest subvention scheme for agriculture. That is, those applicable agriculture loans, what all the interest subvention is eligible. And this is being specifically designed for the financial year 2022-23 and 2023 and 24. So this is a very, very important circular because based on which this year audit has to be conducted. And for this, I am going to refer RBI circular dated 23/11/2022. And another circular is RBI circular dated 28/4/2022. Before starting my presentation, I want to say one thing. The views expressed by me here is my individual view. For the detailed and clarification, please refer the circulars mentioned here. And the guidance and useful. These RBI circulars is a guidance and is useful to who are the persons? Bankers and concurrent auditors who are doing the audit for the year 22-23 and 23-24. And statutory auditors who are going to do the audit for the year ending 23 and 24, as well as the revenue auditors, because everything is revenue based. So for these four persons, this RBI circular is a specific one. Apart from that, this RBI circular is useful to the farmers also. And what is the applicability? It is applicable only for the agricultural loan covering under KCC, Kishan Cash Credit. Cash credit. Only for this RBI circular is applicable. That is only interest subvention you can claim against the loans sanctioned under KCC. And there they said that two loans are eligible. One is short-term crop loan. That is, when you are saying a one loan as a short-term crop loan, that means the crop season is less than 1 year. Less than 1 year, if there's a crop season, means it is coming under the category of short-term crop loan. And what is a crop season? Crop season is nothing but cultivation period, harvest period, plus marketing period. One can say that where we can find this crop season, please refer NABARD circular. In NABARD circular, automatically it is clearly defined. Even the managers, when they sanction the loan, based on their head office circular, they define the crop season. So crop season, don't worry at all. You have to refer the sanction letters. In sanction letter is clearly mentioned. One loan eligible is short-term crop loan. Second is short-term agricultural allied activities. It is mentioned as short-term. So that means the repayment should be made within 12 months. So those loans, those agricultural allied loans are also eligible to get the IS, that is interest subvention. What are all the agricultural allied activities? It is only an example. Animal husbandry, dairy, fisheries, beekeeping, livestock, horticulture, sericulture. All these are called as agricultural activities. So both the short-term crop loan and agricultural allied activities should be sanctioned under KCC. And only for this interest subvention is applicable and not for other agricultural loans. Overall limit. They say that what's the overall limit? First thing they say that short-term agricultural crop loan. Short-term agricultural crop loan. In under KCC, the limit eligible is overall is 3 lakhs. But the bankers, even they can sanction 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs. That is different view. But overall crop season, overall limit is to be taken as 3 lakhs. For allied activities, it is 2 lakhs. A short-term agricultural allied activities, overall limit is 2 lakhs. And when the allotment is concerned, that is what is eligible for IS, that is crop loan is given priority and allied activities are coming next. So for short-term crop loan, it is 3 lakhs. For long-term agricultural allied activities, is overall limit is 2 lakhs. That is, the eligibility should not exceed 2 lakhs. But when both the loans have been given, the first priority you have to give to the crop loan. Let us discuss this with the detailed presentation in the form of example. This example is clearly mentioned in the RBI circular. Based on that, I have prepared this in a tabular form. So the first situation is the overall limit is 2.5 lakhs. And the crop loan, they are given to the extent of 1.5 lakhs, and allied activities, it is 1 lakh. So for crop loan, the maximum limit is 3 lakhs. For allied, it is 2 lakhs. So both the limits are eligible to be eligible to be claimed under IS. They are eligible to get the interest subvention. And second situation is the overall limit, that is per borrower, per farmer, he has received 3 lakhs. The crop loan is sanctioned to the tune of 50,000. And allied loan, they have sanctioned to the extent of 2.5 lakhs. For crop loan, the maximum is 3 lakhs. Whereas allied, the maximum overall limit is 2 lakhs. So the eligible is only 2.5 lakhs. That is, for crop loan is 0.5 lakhs. And for agricultural eligible and allied activities, it is 2 lakhs. Go to situation 3. The overall limit is 4 lakhs. Crop loan, they have sanctioned to the tune of 1.75. So the entire amount is eligible because the maximum overall ceiling is 3 lakhs. So entire 1.75 is eligible. But with reference to agriculture, it is 2.25. The overall ceiling is 2 lakhs. But in overall, that is overall of all limits, it is only 3 lakhs. So 1.75 minus 3, it works out to 1.25. So the situation 3 is, it should not exceed, that is eligible loan limit should not exceed 3 lakhs. So crop loan, they are eligible to the tune of 1.75 lakhs. And allied loan, they are eligible to the tune of 1.25 lakhs. Situation 4. Overall limit is 4.5 lakhs. And crop loan is given to the tune of 2 lakhs. And overall is 3 lakhs. So the crop loan, we can claim 100%. Whereas out of this, overall restricted is out of 3, only 1 is left. But allied activities is given to the tune of 2.75 lakhs. So only 1 you can claim. So the overall limit is 3 lakhs. Situation 5. Overall limit is 4 lakhs per borrower, but crop loan, they are given to the tune of 3.15 lakhs. So allied activities, it is 0.85. So the limit is only, there is crop loan is only eligible to be coming under the category of 3 lakhs. And allied activities, they are not eligible. So as an auditor, you have to be very, very careful. This chart, you have to bear in mind before you are giving the certificate, because the RBI has clearly stated that the banker, they have to claim interest subvention after getting the certificate from the statutory auditor. You are going to be the statutory auditor, and you may be asked to sign it. So please remember this chart. This is very, very useful chart. You have to bear in mind before signing your certificate. Then other details of interest subvention, that is, RBI has to provide interest subvention to public sector banks. Second one is they can give the loans, they can give the interest subvention to private sector banks, and that too in private sector banks applicable for the rural branches and semi-urban branches. Please see point number 1 and 2. They are giving to public sector banks, and in private sector banks they are saying that rural branches and semi-urban branches and small finance banks. And computerized primary agricultural cooperative banks, which has been stated with scheduled commercial banks. So they should have relationship with the SCB, that is scheduled commercial banks. Then how to calculate the interest rate for the purpose of IS? What is the interest rate? How to calculate? It has to be calculated on the loan amount from the date of disbursed or drawal up to the actual date of repayment of the loan by the farmer. So on the loan amount, that is normally you are from the date of disbursed up to the date of actual repayment. So it is on the outstanding, you have to calculate up to the due date of the loan fixed by the bank. Here, the loan would have been repaid in 6 months, but the due date would have been fixed by the banks as 1 year. But whichever is earlier. So you are the party is eligible to get the interest subvention only up to the date of repayment or up to the due date. So beyond which that party is not eligible to get the IS, whether the loan is being repaid or not. So it is a maximum period is 1 year. So they say that the maximum period is 1 year. and whether you repay the loan or not. So this interest subvention, because this interest subvention, only when you give the prompt repayment, you are eligible for the additional subvention. But when you are not paid the subvention, that is repayment on time, you are eligible to get the interest subvention. This is the rate that the RBI has prescribed for the financial year 22-23 and 23-24. So the lending rate should not exceed 7%. So in that 1.5% for the above set calculation, you have to do it. And 23-24 also it is 1.5%. Before 22-23, that is for the financial ending 22, that is 21-22, the rate of interest subvention is 2%. Now it has been reduced to 1.5%. This is a thing that you have to bear in mind while you certify the interest subvention certificate. That is, in case if the loan repayment is being paid on time, the interest subvention is 3% per annum. The interest subvention is 3% per annum. As usual, it has to be calculated on the loan amount from the date of dispersal to the actual date of repayment or due date fixed by the bank, whichever is earlier. But the only one condition is, in the previous thing, it is 1.5%, it is 3%. Here, when you are there, they are saying the 3%, that means the loan repayment is being paid on time. This is a very, very important thing that you have to remember, because sometimes bankers, due to some mistake, they can give 3% concession to the party, but you have to certify, you have to satisfy yourself that the loans are being paid as per the sanction letter. And this is subject to a maximum period of 1 year. So every year you have to do it. And net interest is 4%, because overall interest is 7% minus 3%. So net interest is 4% on the agricultural loans and allied activities. That means this interest subvention should be passed on to the customer. And if it is not paid on time, then this type of concession is not eligible. That is 3% is not eligible, but only 1.5% is eligible. And discourage, sometimes due to some stress, the farmers, they want to dispose of the stock, produce. So for that, RBI has come out clearly with one thing, that they request the farmers to store in the warehouse approved by the government. What are the warehouse approved? That we will see later. But loan should be sanctioned under KCC, and further period of 6 months. That is, the eligible period is 1 year, and they are giving post harvest period. That is, normally if it is a short term crop, it will be less than 1 year. Say suppose if the crop period is 9 months, then further period of 6 months also they are eligible to get the same type of interest subvention against negotiable warehouse receipt on the produce stored in the warehouse accredited with warehousing development regulatory authority. So you have to see whether that warehouse receipt is being approved by warehousing development regulatory authority. Then this interest subvention is being extended for a further period of 6 months. The rate applicable to the crop loan. So this benefit is applicable only for the crop loan and not for the allied activities. This is clearly stated, but when you read the circular, I came to know that this is the rate applicable to the crop loan. So that means the warehousing receipt is, if they produce only for the agriculture loan, this interest subvention is applicable and not for the allied activities. This is my view. Farmers are affected by the natural calamities due to some nature disaster, natural calamities, some due to season failure, monsoon failure, maybe there may be lack of production of agricultural produce. So in case, if that is the case, then bankers, they will do the restructure of the loan as per the norms of the RBI. If they done restructuring also, normally when you did the restructuring, other than the natural calamities, interest subvention is not applicable. But when the bankers, they are doing the natural restructuring due to natural calamities, then IS, that is interest subvention, is applicable for the first year, and for the subsequent years you have to charge normal interest. For the first year, that is 7% minus 1.5%. In case if the loan is being repaid on time, then 7% minus 3%, it is 4%. So this is a thing that you have to see. Now, they have been affected by severe natural calamities, maybe flood, volcano, something that is more than severe natural calamities. Then this is applicable. Interest subvention is applicable for the first 3 years to the maximum of 5 years. So they can go up to 5 years, but everything has to be approved by the RBI on the restructured loan amount. The restructured loan, what is a loan amount? That is as usual, same condition from date of sanction to the date of repayment. You charge the IS, interest subvention. So IS available for the first 3 years to the, suppose in the loan restructuring is they are given only for 2 years, so only for 2 years, but they can go up to 5 years on the restructured amount. As usual, for prompt repayment, it is 3% per annum. The interest subvention is given to the farmers. And benefit has to be, this benefit has to be decided by the high-level committee on the recommendation of the Inter-Ministerial Central Team and Subcommittee of National Executive Committee. And another very, very important thing, all those farmers who want to avail, yes, this is also you have to see from the auditing angle, whether the Aadhaar of the farmer is linked to the scheme. So that means the Aadhaar of the farmer should be linked to the banker. If they avail the loan, short-term loan for the financial year 22-23 and 23-24. So Aadhaar linking is very, very important. So this point from the auditing angle, you have to see. So whenever they are asking you to sign the claim format, please ask this whether the Aadhaar is being linked. If the Aadhaar is not linked, then the farmer is not eligible to get the interest subvention. So banks have to submit for the financial year up to 21-22, up to 20, it is, I said as 2021. So 2021, if there is any financial arrears, that claim can also be made. Up to 21-22 also you can make. And this has to be done on or before 31-12-22. So up to 2021 you can claim. Up to 2021 you can claim, and after that, one second. So they say that only for the financial year up to 2021. It is not 21-22. So these pending claims, the bankers, they have to submit to RBI duly certified by the statutory auditor as true and fair, true and correct. So banks, they have to claim the statement. They have to submit the following statement on annual basis, and for regular and prompt repayment. For a regular thing also, for prompt repayment also, they have to submit separate form, and they have to submit the form duly certified by the statutory audit as true and correct. So you may be going to be the statutory auditor as a branch auditor or even a central statutory auditor. You may be asked to duly sign those claim form as true and correct. And this has to be submitted by the bank within a quarter from the close of the year. Normally the bankers, they are closing the year on 31st March. That is on or before 30th June. The bankers, they have to submit the claim statement duly certified by the statutory auditor. And remaining claim, if it is not made due to some mistake, due to some omission, if they are not able to make the claim, that is for the year, during the year, the loan is being disbursed during the year 22-23 and 23-24, the claim which has not been included in the earlier claim, and they can claim that as additional claim, and they have to submit for the year 22-23 on or before 36-24, and for 23-24, they have to submit the claims on or before 36-25. So from this, I understand that in case if there is only omission, also the bankers, they are eligible to submit the claim as per the RBI directives. And all those additional claim also has to be certified by a chartered accountant or by a statutory auditor as true and correct. That is in interest submission to post-harvest credit to farmers. Suppose after that, whether they are available, yes, they are available, because to avoid the stress, what they are doing based on the negotiable warehouse receipt, whether it's a loan restructure against natural calamities or severe natural calamities also. Suppose normally in the previous case, I said that due to stress, this negotiable warehouse assets are eligible. But due to some natural calamities and severe natural calamities, there will be some problem. So against the natural assets also, they are eligible to get the interest submission, but the bankers, they have to make the claim separately under each head. And all this have to be certified, duly certified by the statutory auditor as true and correct. And now a claim made by the primary cooperative bank. Primary cooperative bank, the claims have to be submitted separately. And very, very important thing, suppose if you are going to be the auditor for PCB, then you see that the interest subvention is not available for the refinance availed from the NABARD. So it's a very, very important thing. Suppose we are going to be the auditor, statutory auditor for PCB, you have to see this point, and this is a very, very interesting circular. And again, the statutory auditor has to certify as true and correct. Whom the claim has to be submitted. Normally, to whom the bankers, they have to submit the statement. They have to submit all the claims in Form 1, 2, 3, and 4. Everything have to be signed by the statutory auditor as true and correct. And the banks, they have to submit this to Chief General Manager, Financial Inclusion Development Department, RBI, Central Bank, Central Office, Shahid Bhagat Singh Marg, Fort Mumbai, 4,00,001. For this, the claim has to be made. It's a very, very interesting thing. Up to 21-22 financial year, interest subvention is only 2%. Now, they have given the circular for the year 22-23 and 23-24 at the rate of 1.5%. Additional, that is interest subvention at the rate of 3% is being given to the farmers, those who have availed short-term agricultural crop loan, short-term agricultural allied activities. For that, they can claim the interest subvention. And with reference to short-term agricultural crop loan, the overall limit is 3 lakhs. For allied agricultural loan, it is only 2 lakhs. But farmers, they are eligible to get both the short-term loan as well as the short-term crop loan as well as the agricultural allied activities. But one has to see that the loan has been sanctioned under KCC. KCC. So even for the jewel loans, they are claiming. But if the jewel loan is being given under KCC, then he is eligible. If the jewel loan is being given directly as agricultural jewel loan, they are not eligible to get the interest subvention. This is a very, very important thing that you have to bear in mind while you do the statutory audit. With this, I am very much thankful for the patient hearing of my presentation. Please refer the RBI circular for the detailed information. And with this, Nandri, Vanakkam.